Hey.
Hi.
We're going to do something way different today.
Okay.
Not that it's way different. This is only our third episode, right? Fourth episode? Fourth episode. So, I figured we'd go through about additives. What do you add to your coffee?
I add just regular, flavored creamer to my coffee.
So, hi. Welcome. I usually drink it black, the first pot. If I have evening coffee, which now it's evening, then I usually add creamer. If I'm working, like I'm at work, which, I haven't been to work in 3 months. If I'm at work and I go through a first pot, then I just need coffee to keep me going. Mm-hmm. I try to do water, but then, because I work at a desk a lot or I'm walking a lot, so I get tired, then I go and have coffee with a creamer. But I also do Keurig. So Keurig sometimes, no matter what the coffee is, requires a creamer just because it's not a very, you get tired of that.
Yeah.
So, so I don't do creamers a lot. But every day I usually stick to the Coffee Mate creamers, or I guess these are Nestle, and then they have other kinds. Mm-hmm. But then on special occasions I have the alcohol creamers. And then when my wife makes cappuccinos or espressos, she uses the syrups.
Oh, okay.
And we have a couple of the barista syrups. I think there's one right behind us, actually behind the honey. Mm-hmm. And there's more alcohol coffee stuff up there, like Myers Dark Rum, which we did an episode on Bourbonandbooze just recently. And then we have the regular praline and stuff. And then I have some Irish creams in the bar. But we don't do the barista syrups as much. Now, my middle child, you go to her house, she has quite a few of the barista syrups.
See, I think those syrups are way too sweet.
I do too, and we don't really use these. These are syrups that you can use on ice cream or hot chocolates or coffee or stuff. And the bad thing about those is once you open them, they got to stay in the refrigerator. Mm-hmm. So, what's your favorite non-alcohol creamer? I
like the pumpkin spice and the peppermint one.
Okay, so I think I bought pumpkin spice. So if you want the pumpkin spice.
Go.
I am addicted to either the peppermint mocha, which used to be seasonal, and you'd only get around Christmas time, and now it's all year, which thank God.
Right.
And I love peppermint mocha, but I also like the Italian sweet cream, which I just finished today, so that's why it's not up here. I love the Italian sweet cream.
I feel like the Italian sweet cream is a little sweet
I think I'm going to hold off on regular creamer because I'm going to do an alcohol creamer.
So I'm going to do the pumpkin spice.
I like the French vanilla, but it's kind of very generic now.
Yeah.
It doesn't really add anything special. The French vanilla is kind of bland. I'm not really into it. And there's the Irish cream. If I'm an Irish creamer, I'm going to alcohol.
Right.
So some Carol Ann's or some Bailey's. I do like the mocha. The cafe mocha. And I never buy in the small ones. Mm-hmm. I just bought these so we would have a selection for the episode. And you're going to take a couple home with you. Especially the pumpkin spice. And the hazelnut.
Oh, see, we love hazelnut. That's all we drink at our house.
So we've got this whole selection here. Some people put milk. Mm-hmm. Some people do half and half, which is usually what you find in restaurants and stuff. Some people like half and half because it's in restaurants. And then my wife, she likes whole cream. Mm-hmm. So we buy quart whole cream, 5-6 containers. Because she'll have 1 or 2 cups of coffee black in the morning, and then she switches to the whole cream. And then because she's a night worker, she drinks coffee almost all night. Mm-hmm. And then, of course, Mongo likes whole cream.
Yes.
Which Mongo's not here today.
No.
But every time Mongo comes over that my wife's here, Mongo gets a bowl of whole cream.
Yes, he does. And that's his favorite time.
Yes. So, yeah, I think in general, if I'm going to add creamer, non-alcohol creamer, I will probably never do the syrups.
No, yeah.
Unless my wife's making a cappuccino, espresso type of, one of those fancy drinks she always makes.
Right.
Because she's got the mocha pot, she's got the Turkish pot. She makes really good coffee. And unfortunately, we film on a day she's not here.
Yes.
Or we film on a day that she's going to work, so she can't really
participate.
Do anything. Yeah. Otherwise, it's going to be Italian sweet cream or peppermint mocha for me. When it comes to alcohol, I think it's really hard. I mean, I love Bailey's and Carolans, but I think it is extremely hard to beat bourbon creams. So this is the Brown Jug Bourbon Cream. This stuff is available. We bought this in Alaska, but it's available at Total Wines & More, which is all over the U.S. It's probably available at other liquor stores. It's made in Wisconsin, I believe. It says here somewhere. I don't know where it is, but it's made somewhere in the upper Midwest. And Michigan. It's made in Michigan. And it is really good.
Really? I've never tried it before.
Well, you'll have to try it before you leave tonight.
Okay.
I used to like Kahlua, but Kahlua is a little bit strong for me. Now, I love the Kahlua mudslides and White Russians.
Mudslides are good.
Oh, we really love those. But otherwise, Kahlua and coffee, I don't really like the flavor. And then, of course, the Baileys we really like. We have the pralines and cream.
I thought it was really good.
Which is from Louisiana, and it's kind of hard to find, especially the cream is super hard to find. Now, the normal pralines, which is a brown bottle, is available
everywhere.
Most everywhere. But yeah, we could go through that in coffee all day long.
Yeah, it's really good and almost empty.
Yeah, in fact, my wife doesn't really care for that, so that's why we haven't bought a new one, besides the fact that it's hard to find.
Yeah.
If I stumble on it, I will probably pick up one. Now, this is all good and well with normal coffee.
Yeah.
Right now we're drinking, at least I'm drinking, I think you are too, the Jack Daniel's coffee.
So the creamer masks the flavor of the Jack Daniel's.
Yeah. So when you start dealing with flavored beans, then creamers tend to mask it. And that is the coffee pot going off. The nice thing about the alcohol creams versus all the rest is if you're sitting at work, or not work, you shouldn't do this, but if you're sitting around at night and you're just watching TV and you just pour yourself a couple shots of this and drink it straight, you probably have a problem.
Right.
So one thing about the creams is at night, you can't just pour a couple shots and drink it straight.
Right.
Otherwise, you probably have a problem.
Yeah.
And you might have a lactose issue later. But with these, the alcohol creams, you could sit there and have a little shot and just, I mean, that's how I was introduced to Bailey's.
With coffee?
Yeah, with coffee. And even when, well, no, not with coffee, straight.
Oh, okay.
I never really had it with coffee until much later. It was just like an after dinner aperitivo almost. Like limoncello is, you just, you know, at restaurants I'd get Bailey's on the rocks, or sometimes Bailey's straight in a shot. And
so
just,
like a dessert?
Yeah, it's a dessert. And all of these, well, I don't know about the Kahlua, and definitely not the Myers. Myers Dark Rum is good in like rum and cokes and stuff like that, but it's not a rum for just drinking.
Right.
I don't think.
It's a good topper though.
Yeah, it's a good topper. It's a good mixer. It's not a good shot rum, straight rum. But all of these, except for the Kahlua, you could drink straight. I don't know about the syrups. We could give it a try. We get Andy to drink them straight.
Yeah, I was like, not me.
I don't add sugar to any of my coffees.
I don't either. Not if it's not already sweet with the creamer.
Let me take that back. If I'm in a restaurant and their coffee's horrible, but I need coffee, I'll add creamer, which is usually the half and half, and I'll add sugar.
Oh, see,
because if it's horrible coffee, but I need coffee, I'm gonna have to do that. And when I say horrible, it's like been in the pot for like 8 hours.
Like it's definitely burnt.
It's burnt, or it's coffee made by someone who doesn't know how to make coffee.
Right.
If it's weak, I can handle a bit, but sometimes, you know, the new waitress goes make coffee and instead of putting 3 or 4 scoops in, they put 40 scoops in, which I've seen. And so and I'm from, you know, not from, but I was in the Navy where we had strong coffee.
Right.
But I've had some restaurant coffee that is absolutely horrible. And there's coffee brands, generic coffee brands. Like we usually use I forget what it's called.
Folgers.
Folgers is what we usually buy. We're not really big fans of Seattle's Best.
I don't like Seattle's Best.
We like Starbucks ground coffee. We'll get fraps and stuff, but that's not really coffee. I like the Starbucks blonde, but Seattle's Best we don't like. What's the big one that does restaurants that are usually around?
Which one? Maxwell?
No, not Maxwell. It's I think coffee's in its name. I wasn't prepared, but
Yeah.
it's the one that most restaurants use, just because it's probably on the product list.
Right.
But now we're Folgers people.
Yes. Folgers all the way.
Folgers and brown jug bourbon cream,
Yes.
which you're gonna have to try.
I will.
Actually, it's pretty tasty with the Jack Daniels.
I'll have to try that.
So let us know what your favorite creamer is, if you like it with creamer. Obviously, I just picked up the Coffee Mates. They have a whole bunch. Starbucks has their own brands of
I
coffee
like the
creamers.
Starbucks brand.
Obviously, there's Starbucks. There's all sorts of different creamers. So if this video seems choppy, blame the dogs. Hashtag Cody's fault.
I can get down with that. Yes.
All right, make sure you hit the like and subscribe. Check out all the merch and everything we're doing, and all of our other videos each week. And looking this coming Friday, we have our first series, Friday series, Cocktails. And we have a very special guest who did an excellent job for being her first time on camera, and it's not Brie.
Definitely.
So check that out on
struggling.
Friday. You're doing fine. All right, we'll see you next time.
Bye.